everyone, this is Ramanuj here from 𝗧𝗂𝗀𝗃. Thank you for joining me. I would request everyone to quickly introduce yourselves. Just to tell you quickly about myself, I graduated as a lawyer back in 2011 from NUJS. After that, I briefly worked at 𝗏𝗏legal for a year. And after that, I started 𝗦𝗶𝗶𝗶𝗆 and 𝗧𝗏𝗂𝗀 eventually, a startup company in the legal education space, legal media space. And I'm very glad to have you here this evening. We're going to talk about something that a lot of people really dream about. They want to work as lawyers at big technology companies like Facebook and Google. And today I'm going to talk about what does it take to get a job in such places as a lawyer, and what is the pathway for those of you who are very interested in something like this. What kind of work is done by such lawyers, right? So it will be interesting. All right. So before we begin, why don't you quickly tell me who are you, where are you logging in from, what do you do? The chat is open for all of you. Okay. I would love to know what are your questions. Hi, Syed Farhana. Hi, Alok. There are some people watching this on YouTube as well. Please introduce yourselves on the chat. Let me open today's presentation now. Hi, Anirudh, Shrikant, Swarali, Maruf. Glad to have all of you today with me. Hi, Avishka. Okay, so let's get started with today's presentation. I'm glad to have all of you with me today. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Shiv, Rahul. So what do lawyers do in big tech companies like Google and Facebook, and how to get a job there, right? So it's a dream of many law students and lawyers to work in companies like Google and Facebook and other technology companies also, big technology companies, right? And why is it that people are interested? I don't know. Like, how many of you are interested in working in such companies? Write yes in the chat if this is something that you're excited about, something that inspires you. Is that the case? Any of you excited about working in such places? Yes. So most of you are interested. That's why you are here today, to talk about this, to learn more about this, right? But what excites you about working in these companies, Google or Facebook or whatever? What excites you? Yeah. I mean, why do you want to work in such places? Syed, Farhana, Munib is saying money. I'm sure a lot of people will have similar reasons. Money, what else? What else excites you about companies? Like exposure? Okay, what else? Anything else comes to your mind? Rajesh, what excites? Reputation, right? Prestige of working in such organizations. You get great work experience, right? Sukhmandeep. Growth, right? Great. So these are some of the obvious reasons. So we are going to talk about a few questions today. What does it take to get such jobs, right? What kind of people work in such organizations? What does it take? What skills and knowledge does it take, right? We're going to talk about, how much do such lawyers earn, right? There is data available, right? We can all see. But whatever data is available in public domain, we'll share that. What kind of work do they do, right? What kind of work do these people do? What are the qualifications that will enable you to get such roles, right? And we are going to discuss some of these things today. So, so put your seatbelt on. Let's get started. So first of all, I want to say that, it's not just Facebook and Google. There are a lot of tech companies around the world which have, all the reasons that you gave me, that, it's like, and there are some really big tech companies around the world. Apart from Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. And by the way, I have interviewed many people who are working at Apple or such other companies, Netflix, WhatsApp. We have interviewed on 𝗨𝗏𝗂, even people working at Truecaller, lawyers working at Truecaller, and such companies, right? Really large technology companies, and they have come and share what kind of work they do, etc. So you can watch that also from 𝗨𝗏𝗂 YouTube channel. It's very easy to find. You can go on YouTube, on 𝗨𝗏𝗂 YouTube channel, and find such things. Okay, but also I wanted to share that there is a list of unicorn companies, right? So whatever advice we are going to discuss, a lot of it will apply not only to just Google and Facebook, but even to other unicorn companies like ByteDance or any other unicorn company for that matter. So let's see. I mean, a lot of these advice will pretty much apply there as well. This is a list of unicorn companies around the world. And, as you can see, ByteDance, Didi, SpaceX, Stripe. So these are many unicorn companies around the world. There are many such companies, right? This is 197 Communications, which is Paytm, based out of India. And there are hundreds of such companies, and many of them are from India, Ola Cabs, right? And many other, as you can see. So I will share the link with you. You guys can save this link also for yourselves. Okay. Someone is saying there is some network issue. Are you able to hear me? Are you guys able to hear me here? Or is there if you can hear me, just type yes in the chat so I'll know I'm clearly audible. Okay. Going back to today's presentation, you can hear me. So if somebody has network problem at your end, you need to fix it. There's nothing I can do at the moment for you. Okay. So anyway, the list of such unicorn companies are ever increasing. So if you are thinking of working at such companies, say like Facebook and Google, you might as well consider working at other companies like that, which are fast growing. It might be easier to get jobs in such places anyway, and you will probably get all the benefits anyway. But we are going to focus on Facebook and Google specifically today. I'm not saying just that go work at any unicorn company, but I'm saying that yes, you can probably consider working at other unicorn companies also. And the advice we'll talk about today will largely apply to this kind of companies as well, right? So definitely tech companies are overall the most attractive employers today. Why are they attractive? Can someone tell me in the chat, why are tech companies very attractive employers? Any reason you can think of? Anybody give it a shot. What do you think? Why are tech companies attractive employers? Work-life balance. They work in multiple domains. Okay. Future potential, work environment, job security, pay package. Sure. So primarily it has been found that tech companies are really good employers. They are very, considering how people are really afraid of working in big law firms in India, although big law firms pay very well, but people are afraid of working in such places because of extreme work conditions and the fact that you have to work day and night and there is very little rest available. So the question arises that what are the other opportunities? And definitely working in tech companies is very attractive because tech companies are ready to pay you, such tech companies are ready to pay you more than big law firms, and they are ready to give you all the conveniences also. And such companies are generally pretty much known for spoiling their employees with a lot of perks, a lot of comforts and conveniences, and giving them a better work-life balance and work environment. That is why a lot of people today are preferring to work with such large tech companies rather than going and working with law firms or anybody else. So some of the smartest law brains in the country are going and working with these kind of tech companies, and they have, I mean, they are so rich, right? The richest companies in the world today are tech companies, and there are many of them, not even one. The tech industry is the fastest growing industry, and it is generating a lot of surplus wealth. And they do not hesitate to pay their employees well. They are the best paying. I mean, if you look at all the possible industries, tech industry pays its employees much more than anybody else, right? So because of this, there is a huge demand for people, like a lot of people who realize this opportunity want to work for tech companies. And that makes sense because tech companies are truly the most attractive employers today. And so what work do lawyers do in such companies, right? So let's first talk about that. So do you guys know what work do lawyers do in such companies? Can you guess? Tell me, like, what work do you think people do in such companies? Tell me quickly. Anyone, your first guess, tell me in the chat. Quickly. People who are watching those on YouTube, you can also type in the live chat and tell me. Company law, cyber related, drafting, legal work, paperwork, copyright and patent, legal grievances, contracts, legal compliances. Okay. Mergers and acquisitions, okay. Corporate work. What is corporate work, Ashi? Privacy protection, Raju. Okay, so a lot of you are correct. It is like most other in-house counsels. Okay, primary areas of work. I'm going to tell you again, but I'll tell you briefly so that this question is answered initially. Definitely contracts, right? Because people, they have to enter into contracts all the time, just like any other company. Compliances. Do you know what is compliances? Compliances is, there are a lot of government laws, right? Just like anywhere else. And you have to comply to those laws, right? So if you comply with the laws, then you are, I mean, if you don't, there will be big problems. So, and especially such big companies cannot afford to not comply to laws. There will be a lot of fines, a lot of problems, reputation issues. So compliance is another part of the work. Public policy is very big work for all of these large tech companies. Public policy and regulatory interface, regulatory policy, this kind of work is huge work for them. Privacy and data, and all, obviously data privacy and technology law, usual regulation of technology, all this definitely huge area of work. Apart from that, definitely a bunch of work exists in terms of IP also, intellectual property. I'm going to show you the profile, but remember that, I mean, what I have noticed is for most of these companies, a major area of work for them is public policy. Okay, public policy is something in which they hire extensively and very liberally. They have to hire a lot of people in public policy. Okay, so let's take a look at Google, right? So I mean, I'll show you quickly. I mean, okay, let's just see my slides first. I'll show you later on Google's website also. Okay, so here are the roles that they talk about on their website. Counsel. There are counsels whose job is to collaborate with internal clients. What is an internal client? It can be like, in this industry, you say internal client. Basically, anybody in the organization, maybe sales department, marketing department, product department. It could be pretty much anybody. Somebody who needs advice, somebody who needs a contract. So basically, they look at the legal department, sort of like a law firm inside their company, and all the other departments come to them for legal work, right? So collaborate with internal clients and outside counsel. Sometimes they deal with outside counsel, outside lawyers also, to assess issues and risks facing Google and our products. So Google is happy to go to the best law firms in the world, right? But who are going to interface and make sure that what is needed is getting done? The lawyers, in-house counsel. Okay, so legal support. Non-attorneys are key members of our team as well. This is a legal team is saying non-attorneys are key members of our team too. They conduct research, negotiate contracts, very important. See, they are Contracts are even getting negotiated by legal support team, which is not even lawyers, and support other legal needs. Okay, research and negotiation primarily. Basically, it is saying maybe drafting also. Policy, shape product and issue agendas with policymakers inside and outside government. Advise internal product teams on the public policy implications of their products, working with a cross-functional global organization. This is the policy description, right? So I'll show you quickly the legal career page of Google. Sorry, this is a different page. I'll come to this later. Okay, you can see here, this is the legal career page of Google. Okay, you guys can see my screen? Yeah. If you can see my screen, right? Yes. Tackle the most important challenges of the information age, like working with product and engineering teams to understand the local implications of their work, because Google is basically operating everywhere in the world and every country has their own laws, and they have to understand each and every law and what impact it has on their product, on their users, on their advertisers, on everyone, right? And their new products. From contract negotiations to user experience, you will create innovative solutions to complex business issues, right? So even how the user experience on Google, even the legal team gets to impact that. Legal and policy teams are a vital part of Google's success, shaping the future of internet policy and law, right? And you can see there is a lot of what is priority for them. You can see this page and understand. We are at the forefront of legislative and policy changes so that we can lead the industry in protecting our users' data, right? This is a legal assistant who's working there. Their quote, they have showcased this to basically to highlight that how much importance they give to user data and all this, right? How our team tackles today's biggest policy issues and where we stand. Again, public policy, as you can say, data, public policy. These are keywords, right? The head of legal operations, making it easier to get things done. But obviously, she's not a lawyer. She's the head of legal operations. Learn how laws and policies affect internet users, right? So laws and again, public policy. So you read transparency report. So you can clearly see that public policy has a very important role to play here. Okay. Counsel. So this is what I read out to you just a little bit back. Counsel, legal support, policy, 3 different roles. Now after this, I wanted to actually show you the what kind of jobs are available, open opportunities right now. So I have gone here and I have put legal. I can put India as a location, but then there's nothing if you search for India right now, because no jobs are open in India for lawyer. You have to realize that for these large companies, the number of jobs in India will be few. There are jobs in India, but they hire few people in India compared to global, right? They might be hiring more people in USA, where their headquarters, or in Ireland, where Google has its official headquarters, right? So they hire more people there. So let's see what are the worldwide legal jobs open. It might help you to understand the kind of roles that open up in Google. Even they are not open now, in future, whenever they open up, you will be able to realize what are they looking for, right? So let's see this legal specialist, right? What are they hiring in legal specialist, right? Right, it clearly says that we are unable to extend offers to anyone who cannot work from Japan due to lockdown, visa, travel restrictions. So obviously you can't apply, but nobody from India can apply for this right now. But this is the, this is the role that you can understand what is bachelor's degree in law, equivalent of practical experience, 3 years of experience as a paralegal or similar experience, ability to speak and write in English and Japanese. So you can understand. Experience in, forget the Japanese part, focus on the rest. Experience in drafting, managing, and negotiating agreements, right? So experience in working in a MNC, multicultural professional environment. What is paralegal? I can't answer this right now. You Google this, Sukhmandeep, right? Paralegal, please Google this. You will understand. It's not difficult to understand. Ability to draft and review legal documents, analyze legal advice, and apply legal advice to business needs. On paralegal, I have done an entire webinar. You can watch that webinar also. You can just go to our YouTube channel and search paralegal 𝗨𝗡. You'll find detailed explanation of what is paralegal and how to do that. Then you can see here ability to work on broad variety of legal matters with a strong sense of ownership, ability to manage numerous projects simultaneously and execute these projects efficiently, effective analytical skills, right? So I don't want to read everything here, but you can see the responsibilities, which gives you an idea about what is it that such people do, right? Legal training in Germany, right? So same legal investigation support team lead in Dublin, Ireland. Okay, Associate Security Counsel, right? This is in California, okay, or Washington DC also. And here you need a JD or equivalent degree, which is a LLB degree, 3 years of experience of working in government, in-house law firm in data privacy, internal investigations or cyber security, admitted to the bar, blah, blah, blah. Okay, product counsel. Again, JD degree, 7 years of relevant attorney level experience minimum, right? Admitted to the bar and all of that. So payments compliant officer. This is also a legal bachelor degree in business, finance, law, etc. Right? Data strategist. Here also legal is most welcome. So you can see some of them are not very exact law role, but other roles also, right? Deal strategist, and there are more such things. Okay, so you have seen this, and now I'm going to show you the kind of roles that open up in in India, and who are the people actually working in India in Google's team. We'll go through their profiles on LinkedIn and try to understand a career trajectory. But remember that they often hire lawyers in business roles also. If you are open to that, if many people just want to work at Google, it doesn't matter. There are Harvard Law School graduates working in Google, but they are working in as deal strategist or as business development executives and so on. Given the pay is very well, many people do not mind doing that, right? So let's review the career path of some lawyers working at Google, right? We'll do that now. Let's do this now here. I have already kept them open for you to review, right? So let's see this. Tanu Thakur, a senior regional counsel at Google, in working out of Singapore, right? What is her background? Let's see. She graduated from National NLIU Bhopal in 2005, right? So how much and when did she get a job in Google? In 2013 she joined. So you can see there is a gap of 7-8 years before the time she graduated and she joined Google. And I want you to notice this. So what was she doing before that, right? So she was initially working with a lawyer, right, Ace Chandiok. Then she was a legal manager at ICICI Bank, in-house law role, right? Then she went to Citibank. She worked in Citibank for 4 years. So already 2 years plus 4 years, more than 6 years of experience. Then she was a legal counsel in another company in Singapore, and then Google. So she had in-house counsel experience for more than 7 years at the point at which she got a job in Google. And you can see this, right? Very, very important to notice this. Okay, let's see the next profile. And don't make up your mind by seeing one profile, but see more profiles, right? This is a Facebook person. I'll get to this later. Let's see some more Google profiles, right? This is a policy analyst at Google working out of Delhi, right? Whereas she graduated from NLS Bangalore 2016, right? And don't think it is only NLS Bangalore, by the way, because of this. You will see profile of people who graduated from other colleges also. So that is not the only criteria. Okay, don't make up your mind that only NLU people get it and so on. Really, they don't care. Okay, so in 2016 she graduated and got a job in 2020. So how much gap? Again, like a 4 years of gap. And before that, she has worked in Ikigai Law, which is a technology law firm, technology focused law firm, right? Very well known. 2 years she worked there. She also worked at Ministry of Law and Justice, Government of India, although only for 2 months. But these things matter when you have connections in the government, when you have experience of doing things with the government, you have a network with the government. In public policy, jobs become very easy. She then also worked at some associate. This is on supporting parliamentarians with analysis and research. So basically, this is again, it shows that she has connections and network with the government. This is very important for public policy job, right? Okay. So after that, she has been working at Google, okay, in public policy role. Now we have regional legal counsel Asha Kutty, right? So what is her background? She graduated in 2010, and she is working in Google since 2017. So there's a 7-year gap between her graduation and she getting a job at Google. What was she doing before that? She was senior associate at Trilegal. She was associate manager at ELP in private equity and telecom. Before that, she was associate at 𝗏𝗏𝗃, right? And very important, she was doing secondment while she was at 𝗏𝗏𝗃. She did a secondment in Google. So she for 5 months, where she would have created some network and connections. And after that, she went on to work in Google from 2017, right? So again, 7-year gap from the time of graduation. This is a regional counsel at Google, right? From ILS Law College, Pune, right? So graduate in 2011 from ILS Law College, and she started working at 2018. So you can see 7-year gap from the time she graduated, and before that she worked at 𝗏𝗨, another large law firm, for 6 years after graduation. So you can see this. Now, legal specialist at Google, right? And this profile I picked because she has very less experience. Right? She graduated in 2016, but even then, there's a 4-year gap between her graduating from Jindal and then getting a job at Google, right? 4-year gap. It's a significant gap. And this legal specialist job, you saw that they are willing to hire people with 2-3 years of experience also in this role, right? And she's working out of Gurgaon. Okay, very, very important to know. What is secondment? Secondment is when you are working in one organization, but you are sent to another organization to work there. Sometimes it happens. So let's say you are working in my company, but there is another company which is our client. So we send you there to work there in their organization for 4-5 months. It's called a secondment. This is done to create close connections and good relationship between two organizations, and also to increase connections between the teams, people who are going to work with each other in future and so on. So secondments are very common, right? So this was about Google. You saw the different profiles of people working at Google, right? Now let's take a look at people at Facebook. Okay, so this is Kavita KK, Public Policy Manager at Facebook India. Let's see where she graduated from SOAS, did her master's, in fact, 2011-12, right? And she's from ILS Law College, 2011 graduate, right? So 2011 graduate, same year as I did. Now what has been a journey, right? So she first job in research analyst in One World Foundation, in an NGO. After that, she worked for 1 year in PRS legislative. I think this is the most important, one of the important things. She was legislative assistant to Member of Parliament Meenakshi Lekhi at Lok Sabha, right? After that, she has worked again, principal policy associate with a MP, right? For 2 years. So 3 years already. And then after doing that, for 3 years, after that she got a job in public policy manager with Facebook. So you can clearly see that she has worked with in public policy with the government, with MPs for a while, and then she got a job as a public policy manager, right? Okay, so that also gives you an idea as to what is possibly needed to be done. Then let's see, Director of Public Policy at Facebook, Ashwani Rana, right? So Senior Vice President and Chief Regulatory Officer, right? So regulatory role in Bharti Airtel for 11 years, and then he became the Director of Public Policy at Facebook, right? And his educational details are not much available except for his, doing a Master of Business Law from NLS Bangalore, which I don't think has any role to play here. It is what was important here was his 11 years, almost 12 years of experience of heading and being the Chief Regulatory Officer and Senior Vice President at Bharti Airtel, right? Okay, then let's see what else. Lead counsel, Narendra Jain, South Asia at Facebook, right? Mumbai, based out of Mumbai, and you can see he was associate in different law firms, right? Graduated, when did he graduate? No details is given, but you can understand that he probably graduated in 2007. So since 2007, he got a job in 2015. So 8 years, almost 7-8 years of experience as associate in different law firms, primarily, and eventually got a job at Facebook. Okay. Ankit Relan, lead counsel, Facebook. No details is available. So, but he is, related to music and law at Facebook in India. He's basically lead counsel for music at Facebook, and very, very interesting role. So although there is not much details, so we can see from here, he's a 2013 graduate from National Law School, Bangalore. And after working in law firms, Fidas Law, associate partner at Mason and Associates. So no big law firms or anything. So if you think that, oh, I have to work in big law firms only to do this, etc., that is not correct. He has not done any of that. But it took 6 years, right? 6 years of track record, and then he's working as lead counsel music. And definitely he's an IP lawyer. Having IP law knowledge would have helped him. Specialized IP law expertise. Tanuj Bhushan, lead counsel at Facebook, another lead counsel. So what can we see here? Dispute resolution. So he's lead counsel for dispute resolution at Facebook India, based out of Gurgaon. Was an advocate on record for 5 years, right? And has been an associate in Shardul Ahmad Chand for almost 5 years. Before that, another 5 years. So 10 years total, you can say, in Amarchand Mangaldas. Before that, 1 year in Zeus Law Associates, and that's and he has we can't find any details of when he graduated, but clearly graduated before 2008, 2007, 2008 he graduated, and he started working with Facebook in 2020. So it's a long time. You can see that there's a long gap. So basically, to get a job in such companies, you'll see that a lot of people who are working in such companies have a lot of experience. Experience matters, right? Legal counsel and corporate secretary, CS. So those of you who are excited about being CS, so this is the CS at Facebook in India, right? Has been there for 6 years in Facebook. Before that, he was for 8 years CS in another company, Nagarjuna Fertilizers, manufacturing company, nothing very famous. We don't have his education and details on LinkedIn. Again, another person in public policy team, and you can see there's a clear difference between public policy and this team. You work on privacy and data governance, cyber security, emerging technology, internet governance, digital economy, and related field in Facebook. I'm a common lawyer with degrees in law and technology from UC Berkeley and National Law School of India, right? 16 years of professional experience, right? And you can see what all he has done, diverse background. So this definitely helps. And he has been working there since 2017, whereas he graduated from a national law school in 2004, right? So you can see a long gap again, a lot of experience of 5 years he worked at the Supreme Court, after which he joined Wipro as legal counsel. Then he was a policy advisor in Center for Internet and Society, which is a think tank. Again, this would have helped in public policy, in shifting to public policy, 4-year experience, right? And then after his LLM, he has done some fellowship in America, in Washington. That also helps in public policy. And then he joined in India as Facebook in public policy, right? I see a lot of people are raising hands. Please post your questions in the chat, okay? Ashish Chandra, law, merger and acquisitions and policy, has worked in WhatsApp, Facebook, Netflix, Snapdeal, Jio and eBay, right? Again, National Law School of India. Here, 2007, no, this is only a diploma, right? So he's a Delhi University. So those of you worried about NLUs, he's a Delhi University graduate, 2001, has some diplomas, but I assure you the diplomas doesn't play much of a role in these jobs, okay? But you can see that he had a lot of experience of working as in-house counsel in very good companies, Jio, Snapdeal, right, Astro, Netflix, and then at WhatsApp, right? So basically it is again a product of experience over many years in similar roles. Manasa Venkataraman, public policy manager in India and South Asia. Joined in 2019. You can see she graduated in 2014 from GLC Mumbai, right? And in between was a paralegal at AZB, then associate at Varucha, associate at Edelweiss. So basically same. It's a first in a law firm for almost a year, then moved to in-house role. Then this is a public policy shift, right? At Takshashila Institution, was associate fellow for almost 3 years, correct? And then moved to Facebook. So this should give you an idea about the public policy angle of this. This is the Facebook career page, right? Where it talks about legal, finance, facilities, and admin. So you can see it is all put together, right? There is no specific legal page that I could find as such. You can search here as legal, and it's pretty much, same that you will find anywhere. So again, you won't find any jobs in India right now, but you can see legal operations manager, right? Privacy program manager. These are all in Los Angeles. Then legal and compliance project manager, data scientist legal. I don't know. This is very interesting. I don't know what it is. Data scientist legal. Okay. Legal investigator, right? Legal program manager. So these are some of the roles. Executive assistant legal, data scientist legal, associate general counsel in Singapore. So there is a legal director in India. This has been open for a long time. Somebody qualifies. They've been open for, I've been seeing it open for a long time now. Legal director in India. Okay, they're looking for a legal director in India, but somebody who's like a partner in a law firm, in a big law firm, could be something what they're looking forward to. Okay, so I hope this was helpful for you to understand, the kind of people who are getting these jobs. Obviously, they are looking to hire the best of the best, right? They don't have any problem with money. They don't have everyone work, like a lot of good people want to work there. I don't say everyone wants to work there. That will be a wrong statement, but a lot of people want to work in these companies. So the competition is naturally very, very high, right? So they have a lot of options and they always choose absolute the best, and they don't want to compromise on their legal hiring. They don't have any problem with money. So it's not like, oh, let's take a chance on an unproven candidate. That is not their strategy, right? Now let's understand. So from all of this, if you synthesize, what is the learning, right? First, what is the kind of work do they do? You'll see that they are working on contracts, compliances. You can study their profiles again and you'll see this. IP, intellectual property, advice for internal clients, and strategy. So people in the company will come to you for whenever they have a legal question and they need an advice, they will come to you. They need a solution for a business problem, that this is the law, what the law says, but this is the, let's say, the software you want to build, or this is the way we want to monetize our data, etc. What can we do? What is the solution? And as a lawyer, you have to come up with a solution that works and which will fly. It will not be illegal and it will still work. So that is what they're looking for, and coming up with strategies that work, right? Public policy and regulatory interface, engaging with the government, engaging with regulators, very important. Explaining the teams who are building new products, building new businesses, the public policy implications, right? Disputes and litigation. So increasingly, these companies also are getting into various kind of litigations. They instruct outside lawyers, but at the same time, they want to control the outcome of as much as possible. They want to make sure they win their matters. So before they instruct other people, they try and do as much as possible. They do research at their own end. They do not blindly trust external lawyers' advice. They come up with strategies. They instruct the lawyers in a certain way. So there is a lot of need for good litigation lawyers also in such companies, disputes and litigation, right? Now, very important question. Many of them, we are already thinking that as a fresher, by the time I graduate, how can I get a job in these companies? That is not realistically possible. For example, Google has a clear policy, even in the US, forget in India, that we don't want to hire freshers. Who are the companies who hire freshers in their legal teams? Companies which have large legal teams and they want to reduce cost by hiring freshers, okay? They do not outsource work to law firms, but this is not something that companies like Google or Facebook do. They are not trying to cut costs on legal. They will rather hire, they have a lot of budget, they have no problem, they will hire good law firms, pay the law firms, and lawyers will hire freshers maybe, but they are not that much interested in hiring freshers in their companies, okay? So even sometimes it does not make sense too much for you to go and intern with these companies. Even if you get an internship at Google or Facebook, should you do it? I doubt it, because you will not get a job when you graduate, okay? You better, so if you are, but then what is to be done, right? If you want to work in Google, Facebook, you have no option. It's not like that, right? So you can, but basically you saw how at least with 3-4 years of experience, 7-8 years of experience, people are getting job in such companies. There's a clear thing, right? So you have to build that track record so that you are so good that you are a very good in-house counsel, right? And they want to hire you because you have proven track record. You have experience which they want to benefit from. So you have to build that kind of profile, you have to build that kind of experience, and don't expect to get a job in such companies as freshers. So even if this disappoints you, I'm sorry, but this is the whole thing. If you are looking to get a job in Google, it's not a 1-year plan, it's a 7-year plan. If you do certain things for the next 7 years, right, then you will get a job, or at least 3-4 years, right? Then you will get a job in Google or Facebook, right? So what should you do? What should you do this for this 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years? I'll tell you that also. Okay, I'll tell you that. Hold on. Now, one question I know will come up. So do they expect to hire students from top NLUs only, or top universities like Harvard, Stanford, etc., Berkeley? The answer is no, right? If you go and see, you'll see that there are enough people who have gone to any not so famous colleges also are working at Google or Facebook. They are particularly, they don't have any policy to prefer some colleges over the others. But it is true that from some colleges, more people are working in such places. Maybe they have better network in such organization, but I doubt that even that. The real reason I would say is that these people are trying. They are building their profile like that. They're trying to get in. Most other people are not even trying. They don't even know how to get a job. It's a mystery for most people, right? Because nobody actually studies how the others have got it. So it's not like they have a policy to hire students from top universities only. Big law firms have, most of the big law firms, almost all of the big law firms have a policy to hire from top NLUs or a few other top universities. But this is not the case with these technology companies. They do not care, okay? How much experience do you need before you get an opportunity to work in such companies? So I would say at least 4 years to 7 years, 10 years. The more experience you have, the better, but relevant experience, right? So if you are going to work in public policy, they are willing to hire people with less experience in public policy, because you can see that people have 3 years, 4 years of public policy experience, 2 years of public policy experience, and they are getting hired at Google or Facebook. And in other companies, even much more possible. So you have to have experience in public policy. That is one way to get a job in such. Other option is that you have been an in-house counsel. Maybe you don't want to do public policy work. There are a lot of people who don't want to do public policy work. So for those people, if you want to be a counsel, then you have to have experience of as an in-house counsel, preferably in technology companies, right? So if you have worked in other unicorn companies, if you have worked in other good companies where there were similar challenges, and you have overcome that, then your chance of getting a job at Google or Facebook will be much more. So that is why I highly recommend those who want to work eventually in Facebook or Google, you should work in technology startups, because you will be doing pretty much the similar kind of work. How can you build up your profile over time so you can land such a job? Work with technology startups. This is one advice. Okay. Work with startups in the USA if possible, because now, because of remote work, it is possible for Indian lawyers to work remotely with startups in the USA. This will be highly advised. It will really help. There is not much track record of people who have done it, but it is going to work. You will get to do all such work and more, right? The idea is that the work people are doing in Google and Facebook, you already have done that work. That is how you build up a track record, right? You have already done all those work in some other company. Now getting the same work in another company is not that difficult. Surely there is high competition to get into Facebook and Google and LinkedIn and Twitter and whatever other, maybe ByteDance or whatever very big companies. But there are plenty of companies where good people are not, especially technology startups, smaller companies, people are not going. You can get in there as an intern, you can get in there as a junior associate, and or whatever, like junior in-house counsel, and get to do similar work. And as soon as you have built up your experience, you can then move into Google eventually, or Facebook if you want, right? Legal is not something on which they want to take chances. Just remember this. It's not like I don't know anything, I don't have any experience, I'll go and still apply, and I'm very smart, maybe they'll take me. No, that's not going to happen. By the way, they hire freshers from business schools, but they don't hire freshers from law. Not even from Harvard Law School, they hire freshers, right? So that is not going to work. They want to hire proven candidates, so you have to create a track record. This is the only solution. For India, the trend is that they hire people with significant law firm experience very often. So if you have worked in technology law, or even in M&A sometimes, or whatever, competition law, technology law, and you have worked in good law firms, and you have experience of 5, 6 years, 4 years, 6 years, then there is a good chance that you'll be able to get into these kind of technology companies, right? And your network matters. Will other people there vouch for you? Are there people in the organization who already know you? Because the more you have connections in such a place, it will help you a lot, right? They will be able to tell you what is the work like, what is the environment like, what is expected, how to crack the interview. So all the people who crack interviews in Google, not only in law, in other areas also, and I have spoken to quite a few of them, they all said that it's very important that you understand what Google is all about, what is expected from you. And the more you talk to people who are already working there, it will prepare you mentally, and you have a better chance of getting it. And they're very particular about fit. Like, if they feel that you will not fit into their culture, you may be a very good lawyer, still they'll not hire you. So they're very particular about their culture, about the mindset, about all of that. You have to be careful about. You have to understand what is it that they're looking for in the lawyer they're hiring. Another shortcut that works is that if you have been working in a startup or a company which gets acquired by Facebook or Google or any such unicorn, then obviously you'll get into that company automatically as a part of that acquisition, right? Even in BD roles, lawyers are hired because you'll end up negotiating contracts. So remember this, I had told you this before also, that even business development roles, deal strategist roles. You will get jobs even there as lawyers, because they only want to see if you're good at, strategizing, and fact that you know how to draft and negotiate contracts will be an added advantage, but not the only factor, but one factor. And many lawyers work in Google in business development roles. There is one former colleague of mine, 𝗬𝗍𝗶, he is working in Canada in Google, right? He even worked in 𝗫𝗍𝗄𝗧 for briefly for a few months. And now he worked for Amazon for a while, Amazon Cloud Services. And then now he works in Google with Canada as in a product role. So, and he did a startup in between. So that's okay. I mean, people have all sorts of background, right? So tech law is an exciting career, and if you want to work in Google, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and these kind of companies, WhatsApp, YouTube, whatever, right? Tech law is an exciting career. If you want to work with such companies in the future, you have to first build a career in technology law or public policy. That is the other option, but I recommend technology law. How can you get started in technology law? Okay, 𝗧𝗂𝗀 is here to help you. I don't think any of our students have ever got into, are working in these companies yet, or maybe there's one person from Google, I faintly remember, who has done a course with us, but she was already there in Google. Oh, we have our student working in YouTube, actually. We have one student, she's head of YouTube education. So that way we can say that, she is, our former student who's working at YouTube. But we can't take credit in why she got a job in YouTube anyway. But what we can help you to learn some of these skills. But we know that some of our technology law graduate in the future will go on to work with this kind of companies, and because we're training them in this kind of skills, like I told you, contracts and compliances, regulation of emerging technology, and regulatory interface and public policy. And we are training our students in these things, and I'll show you a specific course where we are teaching these things, right, quickly. Right, so this is the course, guys. If you are interested in learning technology law, so you have to start learning technology law, right? So it's a long-term project. It will not happen overnight. It's not like you decide to work in Google and you prepare for the next 6 months and you'll get it. You need to strategize, plan things, right? So here you go. Those of you who are interested in this course, definitely check this out. The enrollment closes in 4 days, so there is not much time. Enroll soon. The course is co-certified by Skill India, Government of India's skilling program, and Management and Entrepreneurship and Professional Skills Council. Okay, so NSDC, National Skill Development Council Corporation, National Skill Development Corporation co-certifies this course with 𝗨𝗧𝗂. So you can definitely check this out. It's a 1-year course, and in 1 year we will train you a lot about technology law. Okay, so going back to our session, let me finish the session quickly, run through the slides. Right, how do we help you? We have live classes every week which you can attend. There you will get study material from us, so that you don't have to, when you are studying technology law, you can study in a focused manner, don't have to look around. You will get doubt clearing with our experts who have worked in good law firms. They will be there to guide you. You can check on that page, the names and details of such people are given. We will give you practice assignments and give you one-on-one feedback. This is very special about our course, that every week we'll give you 2 practical work, that okay, draft a contract or draft a notice, or draft a privacy policy, and give you a problem, and you have to solve the problem and do some real legal work that you'll be expected to do as a lawyer. And then we'll give you one-on-one feedback so you can improve. The idea is like, if you go to the gym every day or you practice singing every day for 1 hour, obviously you'll get much better over time, right? Your skills improve. In 3 months, you'll reach a certain stage. In 6 months, you'll be even better. After 1 year, you'll be even better. And same thing, if we make you practice technology law work every week, multiple times, you do it again and again and again, and get feedback, get feedback, get feedback. After 1 year, you will become really, really good. That is the whole thing that we do. There is no magic in this. It's continuous practice and engagement and tutoring and guidance through which we help you, right? Also, we will help you to make your CV better, create a track record by writing articles and publishing them. Okay, so that somebody who looks at your CV realizes that you have certain knowledge. Also, you will promote this in your social media network, through which you'll be also connecting with people, impressing them, create a certain image which will help you in your job hunting and internship hunting and so on. We'll give you mentorship and guidance for applying for opportunities which will get get you started, and that's really, really helpful, right? We'll connect you with such opportunities ourselves as well. Okay, and we will help you to fine tune your CV and help you to prepare for interviews. You'll be able to use templates and study material we provide to you during your internships and jobs, so that it becomes easier for you. Even during assignments, if you are stuck, you can discuss with your peers and our coaches. You have enough support for that. And some people, I know many of you say, I don't have the money, how can I learn this skill? So I have already prepared with the answer. You should get basic work like virtual assistantship, calendar management, data entry, proofreading, and you can get such freelance work online. Okay, anybody and everybody can earn 5,000-10,000 per month very easily online. And it should not stop you from getting the money that you need for skill development. Okay, and so if you have the money, though, you can straight away start learning such skills, and time is more valuable than money. If you can save time by spending money, always do that. That way you'll grow much faster. And let's be clear about one thing: you cannot learn these skills anywhere else realistically. You can go through the syllabus, you can go through the weekly exercises in the link that I shared with you. No other similar course exists anywhere, not even in the world. Okay, other courses, they will give you a few PDFs, pre-recorded videos about some sections and case laws. You must have experienced that in your college already. So there's no comparison really. There is a webinar I have tomorrow as well, so I wanted to share that with you. Here is the link in case you want to attend tomorrow's webinar. There are a bunch of webinars. My webinar is this one, right? How much do tech lawyers earn in the USA? Is it possible for Indian lawyers to land these jobs, and how to land these jobs? I'm going to talk about this. So if you're interested, you can attend. And also, how to get paralegal work from foreign tech lawyers and how much can I earn? This is a workshop I have on 31st of January. So if you are interested in doing paralegal work online for foreign technology lawyers in the USA or even in the UK and earn money through that, I'm going to show you how. It's a 3-hour free workshop. So you might want to attend it. There is no charges. You can just enroll. You can just register yourself here. All right. Is there anything else? Oh, yes. I would like you, so did you benefit from today's workshop? How many of you think you benefited from today's workshop or learned something new and you'd like to keep in touch with me for that? Yeah, so if you want to keep in touch with me, I'll recommend that you connect with me on Twitter. I am not taking any live questions. There's no point raising your hand. I'll not let you speak, but you can post your questions in the chat. And I'm going to take up questions now. So all the questions that have been asked, I'll pick up now and answer all the questions, right? So if you're not connected with me on Twitter already, I'll recommend that you connect with me on Twitter. And if you don't have a profile on Twitter, please create one. It will take you a minute, but it's very, very important for your success. And a lot of networking that you cannot do even on LinkedIn, you can do on Twitter. You can connect with founders of tech companies of all around the world, follow them, learn about what they think are important, what is going on, all of that, right? So it will be amazing opportunity for all of you to do that. Okay, so there are a bunch of questions. Let me quickly take up the questions that have been posted. I am already doing CS. Does it help in my law career? What helps? If you're asking me if learning technology law helps, yes, absolutely helps. Like if you want to work with such companies, if you want, technology sector is the fastest growing, most powerful economic engine, and definitely it helps you whether you're doing CS or not. And in CS, they will not teach you these skills. Like I showed you, even in Facebook, there is a CS. But I mean, usually CS is not the solution to all your problems. There are people who are doing CS will get a job that pays just 30,000 rupees and 40,000 rupees, and there are jobs that pay you 2 lakh rupees per month. So you have to decide what do you really want to do in life, what is your ambition, what is the size of your ambition. Accordingly, you can plan. What other questions are there? How do we really start our journey in such companies? So like I said, you should start by working in technology startups, Archana. Okay. Work in technology startups, do similar kind of work, learn technology law. You can join this course and start learning technology law, then work with technology startups, build up your profile, and one day you'll be able to then work in such marquee companies. Is 2 years experience okay for this job? No, it's not. It's not about just experience. It's also, if you have irrelevant experience, you don't work. You have experience of doing this kind of work: public policy, technology, law, data security, right? Regulation of emerging technology. What if any law graduate who is already experienced in field of technology, cybersecurity, want to enter into field of data privacy and data protection law? If you know the law, so if you know data privacy and data protection law, you know the work, then you apply already. Maybe you can get a job by applying. That is one option. But otherwise, you can improve your profile, you can write, you can do courses, you can build up your profile as somebody who knows this, like who's an expert in this area, right? All right. So anybody else? Any other questions? Any other questions? I'm happy to answer at this point. All right. Thank you everyone for joining today's session. I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Hope some of you go on to work with companies like Google and Facebook in the future. That'll be great, right?